Welcome to Great Guitarist of the Rock Era. Today I'm going to change up the format of the video and talk about my top 10 favorite US rock bands. America has given the world some of the greatest rock bands ever, from bone-crunching riffs to era-defining anthems. These bands shaped the soundtrack of our lives, but which ones stand above the rest? Buckle up, crank it up, and let's dive into my top 10 greatest American rock bands of all time. Before we get started, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for more stories. Coming in at number 10, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Swamp rock at its finest. CCR gave us some of the most timeless anthems of all time, whether they were calling out war, belting out the blues, or crafting perfect rock melodies. Fogerty and the gang were pure American rock. Despite the swampy blues sound, CCR was from Northern California. Led by singer-songwriter John Fogerty, the band's career was a short 4 years from 1968 to 1972, but they sold over 45 million albums in the U.S. alone. Key songs: Fortunate Son, Green River, Proud Mary, Born on the Bayou, Willie and the Poor Boys, and Bad Moon Rising. Essential albums: Green River and Cosmo's Factory. Coming in at number 9, I have the band Chicago, formed in Chicago, Illinois in 1967, with Terry Kath on guitar and vocals, Peter Cetera on bass and vocals, and Robert Lamb on keyboard and vocals. The band has a killer 3-piece horn section. Though the band has gone through many lineup changes over the years, they're still out there touring. Key songs: Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is? Beginnings, 25 or 6 to 4, as well as their 80s pop hits, You're the Inspiration and Hard Habit to Break. Essential albums: Chicago Transit Authority and Chicago 17. At number 8, I have the band Boston. Boston was formed by guitarist, songwriter, producer, and inventor Tom Scholz. When he met singer Brad Delp, things started to fall into place. Scholz wrote and recorded most of the first album in his basement, and it remains one of the best-selling albums of all time. Key songs: More Than a Feeling, Long Time, Peace of Mind, Don't Look Back, and Amanda. Essential albums: Boston, Don't Look Back, and Third Stage. Coming in at number 7, I have the band Guns N' Roses. Dangerous, loud, and absolutely electric. Guns N' Roses were the last great wild rock band. Appetite for Destruction is still one of the greatest debut albums in history. From Slash's licks to Axl's Well, pure rock and roll excess at its finest. Key songs: Sweet Child O' Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, and Mr. Brownstone. Essential albums: Appetite for Destruction and Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Coming in at number 6, I have Bon Jovi. Started by John Bon Jovi, who had a regional hit with the song Runaway, recorded with studio musicians. As the song started to gain traction, the band was born with Richie Sambora on guitar. Bon Jovi has gone on to be one of the best-selling bands of all time. Key songs: Runaway, Living on a Prayer, You Give Love a Bad Name, Wanted, Dead or Alive, Bad Medicine, and Keep the Faith. Essential albums: Slippery When Wet and New Jersey. At number 5, I have Metallica. Heavy metal's undisputed kings, Metallica took thrash and made it massive. Master of Puppets is a genre-defying masterpiece, and their Black Album brought metal to the mainstream. Decades later, they're still selling out stadiums worldwide. Key songs: Seek and Destroy, Fade to Black, Enter Sandman, Master of Puppets, and One. Essential albums, Master of Puppets, and the Black Album. Coming in at number 4, I have Eagles. Whether you call them rock, country rock, or soft rock, one thing's undeniable: the Eagles own the 70s. With harmonies as smooth as whiskey and songwriting as sharp as a switchblade, Hotel California remains one of the most iconic songs ever. Key songs include Hotel California, Take It Easy, Life in the Fast Lane, and Heartache Tonight. Essential albums, Hotel California, and The Long Run. Before I give you my top 3, let me give you some of the bands that were in the running but didn't make my list. I have Aerosmith, Dream Theater, Leonard Skinner, The Doors, The Cars, ZZ Top, The Allman Brothers, and Heart. Now my number 3 pick, I have Queensrÿche. Queensrÿche, the thinking man's metal band, with Chris DeGarmo, Michael Wilton, Jeff Tate, Scott Rockenfield, and Eddie Jackson, one of my favorite bands of the 80s. Operation Mindcrime is one of the greatest concept albums of all time. Key songs, Take Hold of the Flame, Walk in the Shadows, I Don't Believe in Love, Eyes of a Stranger, and Silent Lucidity. Essential albums, The Warning, Rage for Order, Operation Mindcrime, and Empire. Coming in at number 2, I have the band Journey. Journey started as a rock fusion band with former Santana band members Neil Schon and Greg Raleigh as the core members. After a few albums, singer Steve Perry was brought in, and the band's popularity started to skyrocket. Key songs, Any Way You Want It, Loving, Touchin', Squeezin', Separate Ways, and Don't Stop Believing. Essential albums, Escape and Frontiers. Coming in at number 1, Van Halen. Van Halen didn't just rock, they redefined the guitar hero. Eddie's revolutionary playing, David Lee Roth's showmanship, and later Sammy Hagar's powerhouse vocals, the band dominated the late 70s and the 80s and left a legacy of mind-blowing riffs. Key songs, Running with the Devil, Unchained, Panama, Dreams, and Right Now. Essential albums, Van Halen 1, Fair Warning, and 5150. All of them up through balance, really. And that's my list. Did your favorite make the cut? Let's hear it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more legendary guitar greatness. And as always, rock on.